At this point, we're going to talk about backwashing our filter, and a more common question is, how often do I clean my filter? So we at Prestige, on our maintenance route, we backwash every filter on the route at least once a month. We have what we call backwash week. But we also sometimes need to do that at intervals in between those backwashes. And that all depends on foliage, debris, bather load, things like that. When we backwash a filter, we use a backwash valve. The valve simply changes the direction that water flows in the filter and out the filter. To go into backwash mode, the first and most important thing to do would be to turn off the pump. Anytime you're going to move this valve, the backwash valve, the pump needs to be off. In order to backwash, we simply turn our backwash valve 90 degrees. There's a cam lock on here, and there's also instructions on this lid of how to unlock and move the valve. But ultimately, I've turned it 90 degrees, which has unlocked it, and then I simply give it a slight tug up. Now our water is ready to go through the pump in that reverse motion. Our dirty water comes out our backwash line and goes to our P-trap, which is typically located in the front of your house in your flower bed. This is sending all the dirty water, all the contaminants, the debris that the filters contain. It's sending it out the backwash line and ultimately down the sewer system with the gray water of the house. Once we're in backwash mode, we would simply run the pump. We would turn our pump on and run it for 60 seconds. At the end of the 60 seconds, we would turn the pump back off. We would then shut our valve by pushing it back down and locking it in the locked position. At this point, we need to recharge our filter. Our filter is a DE filter. By the way, if you have a cartridge filter, you won't see a backwash valve because a cartridge filter doesn't have the ability to backwash itself. In our case, our DE filter now needs to be recharged. I would encourage you to look at your user manual to determine how much DE to put back in your filter for recharging. In this case, this is a 60 square foot DE filter, but we also have 48 square foots and even bigger ones as a 72. So look at your manual and see what your unit requires to be recharged. Recharging the filter means putting DE back into the system. We put that DE back into the system via the skimmer. We would dump our scoops of DE into the skimmer while the pump is running. That DE then would run through the plumbing back into the filter and would coat our filter to give it our filter ability. The filter cannot operate without DE. So in the event of backwashing, make sure you have DE on hand before you backwash your filter. Without DE, you can damage the filter itself. Once we've recharged our filter by putting the DE in the skimmer, it's important to make sure we release the air out of this filter. During the backwash process, it's common for the filter to get air inside of it, and it's good for us to be able to get our maximum filter ability. It's good for us to get the air out of the system. On the back of the gauge, there's a valve that you simply turn to open. You can kind of hear it now. And when you open it, it's going to start squirting water out. My pump is off right now for the sound purposes of this video. However, when the pump is on and I open it, it's going to start squirting air out. It's important to open the air valve until all the air is out. Once the air is out, you'll have a stream of water. Once the water comes out, we'll just close the valve. I'll show you that operation here momentarily.